All right, from the city that brought you the defending NBA champs, Toronto Raptors.
Welcome to Zoned In Podcast.
My name is Faheem.
My name is NellyJ.
All right, let's get zoned in.
Get zoned in. All right. So thanks everyone for joining us. This is our 1-year anniversary, our season 2. This is a big episode. So I want to thank our special guests for joining us today. As you can see, please check out their handles right on their screen. We got I am Daniel Guerra and an Honesty D Coleman. Welcome, fellas. How y'all doing tonight?
Great, man. Appreciate you guys having me on.
No, it's awesome to have you guys, man.
Long time listener.
Yeah, so you guys are both subscribers, listeners to our podcast. So it was actually something I was really honored that you both said yes to join us. And I know we're going to have a wonderful and a very interesting episode tonight. So I want our viewers to kind of get to know you guys a little bit better. So if you guys can tell us, who's your favorite sports team, like overall, in any sport? And what are your top 3 sports you actually follow and watch right now? I know it's hard. It's hard. So I'll go with, Danny G, because you look like you're struggling, bro.
I figured. Okay. Sports team, in terms of like favorite sports team that I've like followed since I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely gonna go with the Lakers.
Oh.
Huge Laker fan. Obviously now that's kind of tapered off solely based on the fact that I'm not really a LeBron guy, so it's so strange with him kind of being a part of a franchise that I grew up watching. So there's that. Do you also need my favorite player, or you just need the favorite sports team?
So favorite sports team, and also tell us the 3 sports you follow. Like,
okay.
Religiously.
Yeah, my bad. Okay, so 3 sports that I follow religiously, I would definitely say at number 1 is the NBA. Like, there's nothing about the NBA that I'm not familiar with. My friends call me Baby Woj, Mini Woj. And then secondly, I would definitely say hockey. I'm a big hockey fan, big Leafs fan. At one point I was rocking with the Leafs more than the Raps.
Yes.
But I've now come back home to the stable. Right? I'm starting to. Corona put me in a situation where I'm like, yo, not more what are you doing, but it's more along the lines of, hey man, this is your squad, so you gotta pick it up and rep them. So I'm back on the Raptor bandwagon. So hey man, I know that's gonna go viral amidst my social circle, but I'm definitely back rocking with the Raps. And then thirdly,
I watch y'all. Zoned In Pod, first announcement of this, okay? Ever.
Yeah. I've been quietly like going around canvassing, telling people, I'm back with the Raps. And then thirdly, I watch football, but it's very vague. I could probably name like 5 players, but you needed three sports, so
yeah,
my 3.
Okay, cool. D Coleman, which
my favorite sports team, like, that's a tough one because I watch a bunch of different sports. But I'll say my most interesting sports team is the Jets. Like, I'm a Jets fan.
That's very interesting.
It is.
Look at Faheem's face.
It's not a good time to be a Jets fan, but it's
face
my squad. It's my squad. So that's my most interesting sports team. I just think it's corny right now if you say the Raptors. Like, every Canadian is a Raptors fan right now. So, like, naturally, yeah, I'm a Raptor fan. Sports that I follow track heavy. Like heavy into football and basketball are the easy ones. I was into the Blue Jays very heavy for a while, and I kind of like tapered off. It's weird, but I think baseball got kind of like boring, and it's starting to pick up back again into like a little bit more intense. There's some really, really good guys, and they're starting to get paid, so that's interesting too. But those are the ones for me.
Awesome.
Well,
happy, man.
I got a question. You're saying about the Jets. Is there, like, what started? Because like anyone who likes a New York team, it's going to be the Giants. I've never heard.
The Giants are the worst team in New York. Yeah. Number 1. Number 2. It was the Revis. We have the same name. I think before the Jets, my dad was a Cowboys fan.
Right.
And so I hated them. And I liked the Raiders because I liked the colors. Like as a kid, the Raiders were my team. And then like when I got older and understood football a little bit more, it was the Jets.
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
It's not, you can't take it back. Like I can't,
Yeah.
it's the Jets. The Jets are my team. We are going through it for the past like 10 years, but our turn is coming. Everyone's going to get a turn. It's going to be our turn. And then I'll look like a genius in a couple of years. I know.
Hey, probably will. Probably will. All right. So thanks so much, guys, for the intros. I also want to shout out your podcast, D. Coleman, the BootCut podcast. Please check them out. We'll also add a link on our YouTube as well as on our socials about it. But definitely check out more of D. Cole on his podcast. And Danny G also guest stars on a few podcasts. Do you want to name a few of them that you've been on, Danny?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely want to plug Chips with the Dip. That's my good friend Jawad Rathor. He runs his own podcast, very connected with the Raptors organization, has a lot of dope guests on, but he's had me on a couple times, so definitely want to plug that.
Excellent. So we've done our homework, and then we'll jump now into our segments. So Faheem, you got the mic.
All right, so we got the segments zoned in, zoned out. So I'm just gonna go over some topics that are kind of trending right now, and you can just let me know, are you zoned in? And if you're zoned in on it, a reason why you're zoned in, which is something positive, or if you're zoned out, something negative, and this is your reason why you might not have be negative on that. All right. So like I guess the first one is, can the Raptors run it back? Can we go back to back? Nelly, start with you. You zoned in or zoned out?
I'm zoned all the way in. I'm logged in, all passwords entered, like enough encryption. I am all the way, okay? I'm all the way. Like, and I don't want to sound like I'm being cocky as a Toronto fan, but our team is good. Like, our team looks very good. Our players are confident. Like, after last year, our players, even when they walk, they have this aura. You know what I'm saying? Like, our team is just confident. We're not afraid of nobody. We understand the refs hate us. The NBA hate us. America hates us, I would say in some cases. And they don't care. And I think in the past, what really was our Achilles heel was that we were emotional and we weren't confident and we weren't sure about ourselves. But now with our confidence and the fact that we are still second in the East, even, again, I will call myself out. I will lie. Last year, I thought we'll probably end up number 8. I'm not going to say 8th or 7th. Because I wasn't sure without Kawhi, can we still do it? And they proved me wrong. And I think they proved a lot of people wrong. So can we run it back? Absolutely. I think we can. I believe we can.
Yeah, I think I'm zoned in. I think we can. It's tough. Like, to your question, can we win again? Like, that's not easy. Can we go to the finals? I definitely think we are going to go to the finals again. Winning again is a little trickier, but I think we're built for it. I do think that we have we're playing a brand of basketball right now that I think maybe 2 other teams are capable of playing. We're deep. We're getting like contribution from like our 7th and 8th guy off the bench, you know, or maybe even 9th and 10th sometimes. So I think we also play like as many defenses as you can possibly play. Like, we're just mixing it up constantly, and we have guys with, I think, high enough IQ to be able to handle that kind of stuff. So I think we're going to be tough to beat. I'll definitely say, you know, for years as a Raptor fan, we were like, we need a star, and we got one and won a championship. So now that we don't have one, do we go back to being that team that just like, we just missing that one thing? They're showing us no. They're showing us like we can get it done, but you know, playoffs is playoffs, and we're going to kind of see who we match up with. And I think it's going to be a nightmare series for any team that plays the Raptors. I'm expecting another championship berth. Winning it, that's tough, man. That's tough.
Fair.
I'm definitely zoned in. And this is like a complete 180 from last year. I was just like so skeptical in terms of like my perspective on the Raptors and their ability to,
You were a hater last year.
win meaningful games. According to my close friend, he's saying that I was a hater. I mean, it's all subjective, really. But yeah, like I'm definitely zoned in. I think for me, if you said, okay, why? One of the biggest things that I think has kind of turned my perspective on the Raptors is one, their depth, and two, their ability to defend. So they have so many different types of defenders. And for some odd reason, that went over my head because I was so focused on Kawhi and his ability to be a two-way player and to kind of impact both sides of the ball. Pause. So I think it's fantastic now that like when you take away Kawhi from the equation, you have guys like OG, you have guys like Terrence Davis, you have guys like Hollis Jefferson, Gasol. Gasol went and got the brand new body over Corona. So there's a lot of different things that has me super excited about the team. And yeah, just being a Toronto guy, definitely zoned in, and I'm going to support them. And I definitely feel they're going back to the championship. I don't know if they're going to win, but they'll definitely get there. So that's my take.
Okay. Where did you have the Raptors at the start of this season?
At the start of the year, I had them as I'd probably say like a bottom 4 seed in the out of the 8 teams that would make the playoffs out of the conference.
You had them in the playoffs
through 8. Yeah, I had them in the playoffs for sure.
Okay, that's fair.
I had them in the top. I had them in the top like 4, I think.
Okay.
I said
Really? I did
well,
not.
it's the same team as it was before Kawhi got there.
Right.
So like, we were always in the 1, 2, 3 before Kawhi got there. DeRozan didn't exist in the playoffs anyway. So like, whether DeRozan played or did not play, we would have been the exact same team. He made absolutely no difference to what happened in the playoffs. Exact same team minus DeRozan. I don't see why we're like bottom 8. Like who are 7 teams better in the East?
Right.
Like that's crazy. That's crazy. It's Orlando.
Right. No.
Hell no.
So for me, I'm totally zoned in on the Raptors' chances. Start of season, I had us top 4, and I think I had a hard number of 4 actually. They went beyond what I thought, and this is prior to Corona, like how we're playing.
Yeah.
I was thinking 4. Then after the season went on, I realized, wait a second, this is for real. So
Yeah.
I was actually like really, even before Corona, I was saying, I thought we were like top 3 in the league. Forget the standings, but I'm talking in the like matchups in the playoffs. Only thing is with the whole break in Corona is, I think of it as like, you have to help me out. Remember the Super Bowl?
The Ravens, and where the lights went out.
Yes, you know exactly where I'm going.
Yes, Ravens and San Fran, yeah.
Right.
With Kaepernick.
We talked about momentum. You know what I mean? Like you're playing a certain way, and then momentum can completely it can be dead, and you can't get it back, right? So it's even with this Raptor team, I watched two of the 3 warm-up games, the scrimmages, and we're looking good. But I'm trying not to gauge the team on how we did before, because this is a brand new season. And but from what little I've seen prior to the Corona and where we are now, I'm zoned in. I think I'm saying like we can go back to back. Put us with LeBron and the Lakers. We're not an easy out.
An eyebrow raise on.
Sorry?
I said an eyebrow raise over here. I thought I was saying finals berth, back to back.
Yeah. Well,
we're talking spicy.
Well, I mean, you mentioned a lot of things in regards to Gasol, and but even the defenses. I think Nick Nurse, he's one of him winning Coach of the Year, in which it looks like he's a front runner to do so.
Yeah.
I happen to think he is one of the best coaches in the league, and that's a factor that people really aren't factoring in. Yes, he had Kawhi last year, but he's a creative coach, and I think he's going to make do with what he has, and I think he's going to pull some strings and get this done. I think it's done. Which is going to, I guess, go to our second zoning question. The U.S. media. We, not just now, last year, we just never seem to shake the whole LeBron toe. You know, like even after we've won this year, as well as we're playing, we're still not getting the respect of defending champions. So I just want to kind of throw it around again in regards to zoned in or zoned out. Is it fair, or actually, I think I know the answer to that already, where you're going to go with that. What do you guys have to say in regards to zoned in, zoned out of the U.S. media's perception of the Raptors now?
So I've been zoned out. Like, the U.S. media, trash. Like, I watch specific shows, specific analysts, but overall, when you talk about the Raptors, a lot of those guys don't even watch our games. So how are you talking about a team that, like, you don't even watch any of our games at all? And you may watch the highlights, but, like, you have no idea about our team dynamics, our coaching. You mentioned Nick Nurse. He's the most underrated coach, but I feel like people don't talk about him enough. You know what I mean? The finals, I think they had the NBA restart when they were promoting it. They had 4 teams on the poster. They had the Clippers, they had Kawhi, they had LeBron, they had Tatum, and they had Giannis. But we were the defending champions. So why is it Boston and not us, even though we're the second team in the East? So it's just a constant disrespect in their marketing, in their branding, and all their socials. I rarely see a Raptor highlight. And when there is one, the comments say, oh, wow, NBA, Raptor highlight. Because we're so shocked. Like, they don't even talk, even TNT, like, we never get any coverage or any respect. I'm not sure it's because it's money or business, because they make less money with the Canadian broadcasting. I'm not sure what it is, but it's a huge disrespect. So I've been zoned out of the U.S. media when it comes to the Raptors. I don't even, like, watching them will just piss you off sometimes, to be honest. So, yeah. Nicole, your thoughts?
This is a tough one for me because I feel like a lot of you guys know I've talked with you guys before about my frustrations with the Raptors in the past, and that, like, sometimes getting a star, even on a bad team, changes the trajectory of your, like, franchise in a way. So, like, I don't know, a bad team like Phoenix has Devin Booker. So there's, like, you're talking about highlights. There's Devin Booker highlights, and then there's, like, Siakam highlights. And, like, Siakam's an exceptional player. He's a coach's dream. But, like, Devin Booker is a highlight reel. And I think sometimes if you don't put yourself in position for me to, like, show your guy, then am I being a hater? Am I being smart at marketing? Like, that's debatable. But I do think that U.S. media has been trash since, like think about, like, the Olympics. I remember being in Chicago. I think this was the 96 Atlanta Olympics, I think. 90, whatever year that was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the year, I think, Donovan Bailey, and he went crazy. Our relay team won. And I'm watching the Olympics in Chicago. They only showed the U.S. team 4x1. So we're in the house like, oh, man, we lost. Like, we had no idea we won. Like, I'm talking about just a straight shot of the U.S. relay team running. We had no idea Canada won the relay. Like, they've always been this way for years. So I kind of don't really I think I watch them I don't really take them very seriously. I think they're entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
I like their takes on the sports they do know about and the teams that I do think they do know about. But when it comes to the Raptors, I kind of there's a few guys who I think we should really be listening to, like, what their takes are on the Raptors. Yeah. Media on a whole is disrespectful, so I guess I'm zoned out. But I do think that the star power, I think when we had Kawhi, we were getting a lot more kind of what you were saying, Nelly.
Also a little bit.
And Kawhi is not
last
even.
year I saw barely. I mean, we saw the glove like defensive, but that was in the playoffs. Regular season, remember they thought Kawhi was done because remember he was load managing too, so he didn't get that much.
Yeah, and I'm saying, and Kawhi's not even the guy to like he's Kawhi. Like he's not even like the most entertaining
One
of
guy.
superstars. Yeah, exactly. But do you think they're showing Kawhi highlights now more than they did with the Raptors?
Oh, for sure, absolutely.
Yeah,
I think so. Like Kawhi is in everyone's mouth. Everyone's mouth.
So, so I actually, I'm zoned in. So I'm the complete opposite of Darrell and Janelle. So just to kind of put things in perspective, I initially wanted to be a sports journalist, and then I ended up in the funnel. Now I like operate primarily in marketing and like, all the little details I pay attention to. And the reason why I disagree with Darrell and Janelle or Nelly is solely based on the fact that I feel like the Raptors are getting like there's different ways of looking at the coverage and the respect, right? So you have the whole segment of, hey, are they getting highlights, right? Like, are we seeing their highlights? Obviously, with COVID, there's no highlights to be seen. Pre-COVID, I mean, they weren't being seen. But I think if there's whispers amongst the media circle that the Raptors are legit, those are very front facing. Like, for instance, you have like notable journalists like Michael Wilbon, who's coming out here and saying, hey, Raptors are my pick to win the East. You have guys that, again, this is subjective, but you have someone like Kendrick Perkins, who's like, you know what, I got the Raps coming up the East. This morning I went on ESPN.com and they had a Kyle Lowry banner with Giannis and another star player. Like those are things that I necessarily wouldn't see. But because of their cohesion and obviously winning a championship, I do feel they're starting to get the respect. Obviously, being a podcaster, listening to a lot of podcasts, you have guys like Howard Beck, Dan Wilkie, who covered the Lakers three-peat years. Like he was saying, hey, the Raps are my pick to come out the East, right? And I know these are not popular names, but these are like reputable sports journalists that have Raps pegged to kind of make impact. So I'm not really ready to, turn my back to the U.S. media because I do feel they're starting to gain traction in terms of, what their perception is and, their ability to kind of get back to the final. So I'm rocking with the U.S. media, man, but I might be on my own island with that. So
yeah.
No, I mean, I agree with you, Danny. Like I mentioned before, I said U.S. media zoned out, but I am zoned in on particular analysts. Like you mentioned, there's few people that I actually do care for their take.
How you want to look at it. Yeah,
but the overall U.S. media, being the only Canadian team in the NBA, it's like I don't really look for them. Like I mean, I look for certain analysts, but that's it. The overall media for myself, I'm zoned out, to be honest.
I hear them a lot. I get it.
Oh, sorry. No, you go. Go on. The floor is yours.
No, you're good. You're good.
No. Finish your thought. Go ahead.
No, I was just basically gonna say, like, I get what you're saying, really, but like I think again, it's the way you want to look at it, right? Like there's highlights, there's coverage, there's opinion, so like for me, like I am not gonna watch ESPN Get Up where they don't talk about it at all. And like First Take, obviously it gives Perkins the platform to speak about.
Yeah, I watch First Take.
Again, you have these little these little media pockets with reputable guys that I feel give the Raptors respect. So I'm just not gonna buy into it. But I know last year we weren't talked about at all, but this year for sure, I feel like people are respecting us to a certain degree. So kind of where I'm at with that.
For me, I'm zoned out with the U.S. media. I just want to be clear that just because an analyst says something nice about the Raptors doesn't mean that, like, just because they say something nice about the Raptors doesn't mean like it's like, yeah, like you're one of us. I listen to, like, in other words, I'll give an opportunity for them to say something negative about the Raptors, as long as it's within context and I can, even if I don't agree with it, it's coming from a place of they truly believe that's their opinion, right? I just find that when I'm listening to a lot of these U.S. analysts, they don't know and they don't follow the Raptors. I mean, they might know just, the starting five. And it's kind of like, I feel like, like they say Trump, where he speaks to his core base. I feel like with them,
On them Trump.
no, I'm just saying,
That's wild.
like where the
The
U.S.
White House.
they will they for instance, like Colin Coward. I have to call him out. He spent every day last year during the playoffs. I used to watch his show, and every day he counted the Raptors out in every series. And there's nothing wrong with what he said. It's just the reasonings behind it was purely they're a Canadian team. He's quick to harp on it. They're Canadian. Like it's almost
Stephen
like
A. Smith said the same thing.
The fact that when you come with reasons like that, it makes it hard for me to see your opinion of being objective about the situation. So you mentioned Perkins says a lot of great things about the Raptors. There's a lot of analysts that do say good things, but as a whole, I'm just not really feeling the respect to see past the fact that we're an out. In other words, the typical, we're an outsider. We pretty much, we're a big. I have a question for the floor real quick. Are we a big market or are we a small market? Toronto Raptors.
I think we're a big market.
For sure.
We're all big. Okay. I agree. I just feel we get that small market. Like I feel bad for Milwaukee actually, because I can't imagine Milwaukee's top team in the league, and I listen to the U.S. media every day, and they still don't give Milwaukee respect. They don't talk about Milwaukee like they're a contender, and I think because of the fact that they're Milwaukee, one of the smallest markets in the NBA, that no one wants to go to. So for the analysts, it's not sexy to talk about Milwaukee. It's a lot more sexy to talk about, the typical New York. They would much rather talk about New York, the Knicks, than talk about Milwaukee.
Or Atlanta. Why?
I think the Raptor is a Toronto team. We need to get past that and start getting some respect. Like, what else do we need to do? We've been in the playoffs for 8 straight years. Anyway, and that comes back to my original thing about LeBronto. I still think we still haven't shaken that. We've got a championship, but that's something that will always be in the back of people's minds.
But you know what? To be fair too, I think we talked about at the beginning of the show, a lot of us had Toronto low on the radar at the beginning of the season, right? Mm-hmm. So part of me isn't mad at analysts questioning our legitimacy, because when we were in the playoffs for those 8 straight years, we were getting skunked, consistent, regular skunking. So I think the LeBronto thing is hard to shake now because we don't have our Kawhi anymore. We don't have our guy. So when we've seen the Raptors without their ace, right? They're gonna look at us every time we see these guys, unless they have Kawhi, we know what's gonna happen. They can have a great regular season, and when it comes to the playoffs, they're gonna be this team, LeBronto. We've seen it, and now LeBron's not in the East. We got a championship, but I still think they're gonna question how good we are, and I think some Raptor fans are doing the same thing.
So I hear that, but since the LeBronto situation, what's changed with this Raptor team? Let's look about the personnel differences. Red Van Vliet.
Coaching too.
Coaching.
Our coaching is Casey was
massive.
Casey was exposed in the playoffs. He was terrible making adjustments.
No, Casey was good, man.
What?
Casey got swept, I think it was 3 times in 5 years or something insane.
He was swept how many times? They're all good.
Getting
Why are you
every year.
You want Casey to take the fall for that, not our star player?
No, I'm not blaming. No, I mean, it's cool. They both got the blame from me. I'm just saying, Casey, I remember one time it was, I think we were up, and he gave the ball to JV. Like we were doing some dumb plays. Like even our personnel, our subs were weird in some of the series. Like I'm sorry, Casey made some really terrible decisions at the end of games. Remember, in the playoffs, we lost close games. It wasn't like a blowout. A lot of close games that we lost, and that's coaching. Like coaches have to adjust in the playoffs in Q4 in the fourth quarter. Put lineups out that will win us games or defend us better. And he wasn't doing.
And that's what I love about Nurse. You know, hopefully we're not going off a tangent here, but what I love about Nurse so much is his ability to adjust throughout the game. Like I don't know if you guys remember that Dallas game where we were down 30 and he was doing a full court press.
Yes.
Right? Like it's things like that coaches would never do. Like full court press is so elementary, and he pressed them and we came back from 30 and 1. You know, like those are things that Casey would never do. The box and 1, you know, like the you know, like there's a variety of different defenses that he was doing, playing zone, you know. So things like that, please don't mention Casey to me. I don't want to hear anything.
So coming back to the LeBronto thing, coaching. So the coaching that we can all agree upgrade from Casey, right? Then we have DeRozan, or actually let's even scrap out. Let's bypass Kawhi. Let's go to this season right now. DeRozan or Fred VanVleet.
I want Fred.
Anybody?
Every time.
Right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trade DeRozan for this bottle of water.
Yeah. Okay. Who else was on that LeBronto squad? JV or Marc Gasol?
You know what? You guys are gonna hate me for this, but
You like JV over Marc Gasol?
I think Marc Gasol is good at stuff, and I think JV is good at stuff too.
Right. The stuff we need to win championships.
Like defensive stops. Like
the stuff we need to win championships. Out of the two, is Marc Gasol an upgrade from JV?
Sure.
I think so. I think so.
I think so. I love me some JV, but Mark, he came through last year. That trade that we did last year with Mark.
We dying.
Huh? What?
I'm sorry.
That was you, man. Your reaction has me dying.
I'm sorry. Like
no.
so D Coleman.
Yeah.
If that trade didn't happen with Marc Gasol last year and JV, are we winning a ring with JV and the team? Really? You think so?
Yeah.
So hold up. So Embiid, Embiid, the series against Philadelphia. What would JV do to Embiid?
I don't think JV's the guy that we like play in that moment though. So like remember we have Ibaka, we have Siakam. To me the trade at the time, the trade for me wasn't to go and get another big. I thought we needed someone on the wing. I thought we needed like a 2-3 kind of a guy to, you know, take some pressure off of Kawhi too.
Mm-hmm.
I thought we needed a wing scorer too.
Yeah.
I think that Marc Gasol is a phenomenal passer, and on a team like ours, where we're shoot first team, the ball movement is like so important. So to get a big who can pass and space the court, I think JV got better at shooting the 3 too. I think he was
he did
rebounding
improve.
well.
I
thought
agree.
he was scoring well. I think he lost weight. He was moving better. I'm not trying to say that Marc Gasol didn't contribute to us winning. He played a phenomenal series against Philly. But I'm not trying, like, I don't like the comparison that like Marc Gasol is here and JB is here. Like it's not.
Okay.
No.
So I would say on skill set, they're not like that difference. My thing with Marc Gasol is that he is like his expertise, his experience. And I think our team needed someone that in pressure moments and in pressured games would not flop, would not be a LeBronto, would actually step up. And Mark stepped up in a lot of key moments, especially in Philly, especially Milwaukee, which was, I think, the toughest series that we played in the playoffs. We got him for those 2 series, pretty much, I think.
Did he play well in Milwaukee?
I would say, I feel like defensively, yeah.
I feel like Milwaukee was a series he didn't play much because Brooke Lopez was spacing out. Mm-hmm. So we played Ibaka
Yes.
heavy in that series.
Right.
But to your point, we did upgrade. So like we upgraded coaching, we upgraded positional players. But you guys are trying to say if Casey was coaching last year, we don't win.
I don't know. I'll be completely honest.
Honestly, I think that comeback against Milwaukee, no, we're not winning. We were down by what?
Casey coaches the Raptors last year, and we hit the iceberg for sure. We're hitting the iceberg for sure.
We don't even get out of the East. Yeah,
I don't think so. Like, what was it? Milwaukee, we're down like what? 1-2?
Milwaukee would be a challenge for Dwayne Casey.
Terrible.
Yeah, I don't think he would coach against Milwaukee well. I'm sorry.
Yeah, to come back from 2 down.
Remember, we're down by 2.
I love that Faheem brought up that. Like, that, guys, no. Like, I'm not even willing.
I can agree with that. You know what? Casey is not getting enough credit. Sorry, Nurse is not getting enough credit for maybe a roster. Like, this is our team. So we're looking at these players all down to, like, Stanley Johnson. And we're like, ooh, Stanley Johnson has so much to give. And other players in other cities are like, these guys are junk, right? So I think when we look at our roster, I think Nurse is doing and has been doing a phenomenal job of like switching things up, because that's hard to do and like roll into another season. Like, so Dwayne Casey's been coaching this team for a long time. They have an identity. To roll in here and just like switch up the entire system and win a championship is like next to impossible. Like, you don't come here and change the offense, throw 7 defenses at a team in a game and like win. That just doesn't happen. And then now this season, I think we have more wins this year now than we did with Kawhi, right?
If not,
I think on pace. I think we were on pace to have more before the ending.
I mean, it's on pace, right?
Oh, how many wins did we even have that year? 50 something, whatever. He load management, so who knows? But to be even close is crazy. Like, to, if we're within a game up or a game down, whatever you want to call it, like without Kawhi, a lot of teams should be shook right now. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
And also, like, I mean, last point before we jump to the next next topics was the NBA. If you look at the Raptors schedule versus other Eastern teams, we have the toughest matchups compared to other teams. If you actually look at it, don't do it now, but when you offline, take a look at it. And who we're playing like all the top teams, like all of them. And I think Lakers are playing like maybe 2 or 3 of them, 4, and the rest are crap. Like, the NBA is so biased to our team that they're giving us
You're
the
talking about
schedule.
Now, like the bubble games? The bubble games?
Yeah, the bubble games. We have the toughest schedule. Like, I mean, compare every other top 4 or 5 team, we have the toughest out of all of them. So it just shows you again that the NBA doesn't want us in the finals this year, and that's why I want us to make it. They don't want us in the finals. They don't. And that's why, like, I'm hoping every fan in Canada, we are putting positive vibes because we got to get this. It's karma. I want this win just to laugh in their face.
I want another parade, man.
Yeah, how are we gonna do a parade with COVID now? Like how are you gonna social
distance? It'll be Twitch TV or something.
It'll be bad.
Probably gonna have to be online. Virtual parade.
Yeah, virtual, like an Insta Live or something.